afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you ask me what is the future of our cities, I don't know, but I will have an opinion for you. If you help me to understand together, we will find out where we are between the past and future. I choose two aphorisms. For me, it's explain everything. One is René Char. Our heritage is not preceded by any testament. The other one from Franz Kafka. Man found the Archimedean point, but he used it against himself. It seems that he was permitted to find it only under this condition. To try to understand where we are and how our cities was and will be, we have to do it in a Copernic way. And I invite you to come with me in this point and stay and have an overall view of the Earth. If we accept with Darwin the evolution theory, you will all understand that everything has a beginning, development, and end. The end of our civilization on Earth will not come from cosmos. It will come by human being, their technique, and their technology, as far as possible. In every generation, from the beginning of the human being, the beginning of cities, is the history of ideal city. Each and everyone tried to do the best, or imagine, from the Neolithic times until today. Let's see. 7,500 before Jesus Christ, up to 2,500. 10,000 people were living in peace in Çatalhöyük in Anatolia. Everything was directed by the women. Maybe that's why. And they were organized in a very sophisticated way. But even in the antique time, Plato was imagining an ideal city, Atlantid, where everything is perfect. People can live together, surrounded by the nature, no protection walls, because they will live in peace. But we have seen in every period how human beings were interested in live together and keep the nature as it is. In Byzantine time, we discovered techniques, technology, better construction, perspective, symmetry, and built squares. And all those history of the cities make us able to make specific cities like London, like Hamburg, like Paris, Holland, and Barcelona, Antwerpen. Everywhere you can find the history of our lives on the cities. And today, you can walk still on those nice streets. Because 100 years before, they didn't build the ideal city in Paris. 1915, Le Corbusier was asked by two brothers, Voisin brothers, and asked him to imagine an ideal city for Paris. These two brothers were producing cars and the first airplanes. So Le Corbusier imagined a city where the cars and the airplanes are the king. He imagined that people will walk on the walkways 13 meters high, the cars will use the floors, and the airplanes the runways. And people will live in the prefabricated buildings, which he calls machine habitée. Thanks God, he didn't get right. He didn't build it. But his dreams comes partially true. When you see today La Défense, people are on a platform, cars are underground, buildings are up to it, next to each other. Nobody will compare it with Paris Intramuros. But we destroy many of our cities like that, building machines habitées. And now, our best architects imagining how we will live in the future. This is a project for Gare du Nord de Paris, where we can live on these towers with a lot of greenery on our balconies, speed train on the floor, cars underground. If we let them do, we will achieve this. The Chinese cities. Maybe the buildings are done by the best architects, but it's unlivable. If we let them do, we will reach a science fiction movie where we can live in the 3D printed buildings and fly with drones and forget that the sky was blue. Maybe a colored one, if you like. But in all those movies, they always think for the best areas for happy few. An architecture between Orient and the Occident, surrounded by the nature, and you can live on the lake, and the nature is just for them. Now maybe we can reconsider these two aphorisms. I hope that René Char will be wrong, and that our children will accept our heritage and pass it on the future generation. I hope that man will never abandon his search to reach the Archimedean point, enabling our children to live in peace on earth. I'm not talking here as an architect or urban designer, but as a father. How I can explain to my children which kind of environment we are letting them, and which kind of future they will have in the future cities that we will imagine today. And I hope that the new generation will fight to limit the technology to what we want to do and to refuse what we don't want to do. Next generations, the floor is yours. Thank you.